Guys, Ryan here with the second week of February programming, which actually is week 2 of testing for the level method in our CrossFit workouts. And I think I forgot to mention this last week. This is going to be week 2 of our vitality month for CVC, which means we'll be testing on our vitality test at the end of February. So getting right into it, for those of you testing with the level method stuff, if you did all the tests last week, group 1, group 2, and rowing, you got 7 tests out of the way, and aerobic power intervals will be number 8. And then you'll get 9 and 10 on Tuesday as well. So if you're sick of testing, there is kind of end in sight, and you'll only have actually 2 days of testing this week if you got all of them in last week. If you didn't get all of them last week, you'll have some opportunities later in the week this week to make up some of that time. But this aerobic power intervals is back to really just a workout. So it's going to be a test, but it really just seems like a regular workout. It's fight gone bad style. The coaches are going to talk about strategy for this. So this is something where there's really not a whole lot to scale, except for maybe if you're not doing box jumps and stuff like that. But you really don't get on the map on this one until you get a certain number of reps in. And it only takes about 30 or 40 reps per round to actually get on the map. So most people are going to be doing all these options here. If you're not, there are still, you'll be in the white or the yellow 1 and 2, I think, for the map, which is just fine. You'll still work through this. But for those of you guys that want to try to max out those reps that you want to get in to score this, you're going to have to use some strategy. Understand the power cleans and the push presses. You accumulate reps faster than you would in the box jumps and the burpees. And then wall balls actually accumulate reps faster than you think they would, but they can also limit the rest of the round. So a lot to think about there. You'll hear from the coaches when you get into this workout there. On Monday for CVC, we got a confidence workout. This is a pretty balanced workout. This is one of those days where I like to tell people that in CVC, as you're doing the work, you tend to realize how fatigued your shoulders and core get during the workout. And then a day or two later, you realize how much work you did with your legs actually during that workout, because during the workout, your legs have the stamina to keep going. This, I think, is going to fit that description pretty well. You're going to feel your shoulders during the workout, but a couple days later, you're going to be like, why are my legs so sore? And then we're doing a cash out with ab mat sit-ups. We've been getting up to, at some people, 75 in their cash out. This is still going to be less than 75, but the idea here is you're going to try to go unbroken for 20 reps or try to do your 20 reps as fast as possible for each of those 3 sets. On Tuesday in CVC, another day of testing. The rings don't take very long. Most of us are just doing 1 attempt there to see how long we can hold some type of stabilization on the rings or in a box step. Some people of our more advanced athletes may be working on that first strict muscle up. For the most part, though, the rings test will go by pretty quickly, and then you're into your running test. For your running test, you need to come in and take a look at the board. Probably want to look at that before we come in on Tuesday. If you don't have, I think for ladies, if you don't have your 400-meter run under 2 minutes, then you're going to be doing some type of 200 or 400-meter run there. For guys, if you need to be under 145 on your 400-meter run. If you do have those times, then the next option would be to actually do a full mile run for the test. So you'll either be doing a 200 continuous jog, a 400 continuous jog, or trying to get a fast 400-meter run in. If you've already know you can meet those times, then you'll be getting your mile run time in as well. So you want to look at the map and see what those times kind of look like to see where you fall there. If you end up doing a 200 or a 400-meter run, you'll do one of those, rest a little bit, and then you'll do the second one just to get that workout in. And we've got some extra credit for everybody afterwards to still continue to get a workout in after those 2 tests, because those 2 tests will go by pretty quickly and there's not a whole lot to demonstrate. So you'll still get some good work in that day after those tests. Commitment interval that day in CVC. This one here is a chance, I would say, to go heavy, especially on the kettlebell rack squats, and not necessarily go heavy on the ring row, but go in a very advanced state there in those ring rows. Really work on those, limit the reps, and focus on the weight and the level of difficulty on those. And then you got some core work, and a squat thrust is going to incorporate body weight movements, but it's actually going to be your cardio for that day. And then you have a chance to have some fun with the dumbbell hang cleans and see how heavy you can get and get comfortable with that movement. On Wednesday, so this is just a training day, no more testing. So we're going to be working on the hang power snatch. And depending on where you're at and how often you've seen that will kind of depend on how many reps you do during that. but everybody will stay at the hang power position for that one that day. And then we've got what is going to be a fairly quick workout, probably 10 minutes of rowing and double unders. So you actually have plenty of time to practice double unders before that workout as well. And depending on the size of your classes, you may go in a couple of heats there, which is always fun because you get to encourage people during that day. But you see, we got plenty of options there, no matter if you have double unders or not. For our accountability Wednesday class that day, this is kind of we're taking the rowing and the jump rope, and we're throwing in that dumbbell snatch. So you're getting all the same elements you would have got in the CrossFit workout, but we're making it a team workout that's more aerobic in nature. So as teams of 4, and these teams may get bigger depending on who shows up, you're going to try to accumulate as many reps as possible, meaning one person is always going to be resting during this teamwork workout. So you guys got to coordinate how do you get your rest in and still keep all these different movements accumulating reps for 5 minutes. And then you have a 5-minute burpee relay where one person is doing a burpee at a time, but you're trying to get around that group as fast as possible to get as many burpees in. And you'll actually get 2 chances at each of these, so you can maybe get faster in the second rounds as those strategies improve. So Thursday is going to be another testing day for some people. And then for people who've already done group 1 testing, it'll be a training day. So if you haven't done the group 1 test, you'll have the opportunity to do your front squat, your upper body pull, and your lactic tolerance test or some version of Fran. If you've done that already, you can still come this day because we've got some front squat work for you to do. And then we've got some pull-up work for you to do to start working on those pull-ups because we're finding that's what we need to really work on as a community. And then you've got another lactic tolerance workout. And this is also going to help with some power cleans as well. So that get that clean intention because we'll be working on cleans later this month to test on as well. So you'll either be doing Fran or you'll be doing this 4-minute AMRAP that's going to go quickly. Now, for those of you that have already done your group 1 test and now feel what that lactic tolerance workout should feel like, where it's not an 8 or 9 minute Fran, it's a 3 or 4 minute Fran, you should be looking at this now and realizing, you know what, even though maybe in the past, if I saw this workout, I would have tried to do one of those weights, a heavier weight, because I'm comfortable with that weight for a few reps, but at 10 times, I may not be comfortable with that weight. So I want to dial it back a little bit and keep moving. And I'd rather get another round in this test than slow down and stare at that bar at all. So everything stays very unbroken and quick during that. You should start to understand that now with these level method, different levels and scaling options. For CBC that day, vital commitment. So we're getting our mixed intention in here. This is interesting because you got some basic old school stuff here. You got cardio element with the different runs, suitcase deadlifts, thrusters. Those are old school movements. But you've also got this single arm overhead slam ball plate step up. So you're going to have one slam ball overhead, and you're going to go the first round 1 minute on one side, and then you'll come back to that movement in 1 minute on the other side. And then the next time you come back to that, it will be 45 seconds on each side and then 30 seconds on each side. So this allows you to get very comfortable with that movement, but then try to test the amount of weight that you feel comfortable with holding overhead and balancing with that slam ball. So looking forward to this day. And then your cash out is some lateral raises. So you got that shoulder work with the thrusters and that overhead hold, and then you kind of work the shoulders again with that in a different way with that lateral raise that day. Partner workout on Friday. This is basically aerobic in nature. You guys are going to keep moving. The idea here is that a lot of times partner workouts are hard to stay aerobic because you're coordinating who's working and who's resting. Sometimes you lose sight of how much rest you're getting in, and so you get out of that aerobic constant motion type of zone. With this one, you guys are going to be synchronized with your partner, so you and your partner are going to figure out how to pace each other. And that will allow you guys to keep moving and make sure you don't ever move too fast during the workout so that you stay in that aerobic constant state the whole time here. And then we got some strength work to do for the upper body there afterwards. Our commitment work on Friday, this is all about muscle endurance. This is about body weight endurance with the push-ups and the star jumps and the high pulls. And even afterwards in the cash out with the max set of wall balls. And with those max sets, you get to take as much rest as you need to get your best set of wall balls in that cash out. On Saturday, we're doing our group 2 testing and or our rings and running or our rings and running test. So if you haven't done either of those tests, then you need to come to that 9 o'clock class on Saturday in Fishersville. If you have done these tests, then you don't want to come to this. You either want to go to that lifting progression class or one of the CVC classes that day, or to get a rest day in, because there's still going to be more work coming later this month, and the Open's coming soon. So you know there's going to be some brutal workouts there. Our Saturday confidence workout, this looks really fun. All of these are very unique movements, and I like that it comes in a confidence interval because it allows you to get used to these very unique movements. Tuck jump overs are fun, and as you get comfortable with them, maybe you find, you know what, the intention is not necessarily to go heavier, but go higher, but maybe you will go higher as you get more comfortable with your tuck jumps. Same with the clean and press, same with the pistol. Maybe you start to make those a little bit harder for you. And then the break dancer, one of my favorites, even though it's not always everybody else's favorite, but it's a great way to work the core. And then we'll actually do a couple minutes of some arm balance practice. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of different options for you. And the goal is not to spend 2 minutes balancing. The goal is just to spend 2 minutes trying and getting comfortable with something. Really fits that confidence intention, even in our cash out that day. All right, looking forward to this week. See you guys later.